Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and the ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, cow-foot soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovaki dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 Keele Street in Toronto, Canada.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Caribbean House Talk. On Caribbean House Talk, we deal with all the issues that are funny, curious, and even tearfully serious. On Caribbean House Talk, we often discuss topics that you and me and everybody discuss in their homes. And as you can see, we have a home setting, so we're just getting nice and cozy to roll off with the house talk. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Okay, are you guys ready to roll?
Yes.
As always, we start off each of our Caribbean House Talk series or shows with Spicy Dish. And let me put this out, that on Spicy Dish, the topics are usually a little sexy, a little provocative. So they are not going to be topics that are suitable for small children. So if you do have small children, I would suggest that you let them leave the room. All right, so I am ready to roll with our first Spicy Dish items. So Lady Harrison,
Yes.
please do the honors. Oh, bless you,
I'm
child.
sorry.
As long as I don't get whatever you get it.
Oh God. Ladies, do you have names for your boobs?
Ooh, my
No.
best assets. I have to be honest and say, these are my best assets. If you ask me what part of my body that I'm most proud of, my boobs. I tell you, I've seen girls who are less than half my age and their boobs do not stand up like these girls. My grandmother taught me something. She told me that do not let your boobs go unsupported. It breaks down the tissues and then they get droopy. So when people don't want to breastfeed because they think their breasts are going to get droopy, I've breastfed both of my children. These tatas have seen more milking than a cow. So that doesn't do it. But she always told me, she said even when you're sleeping at night, even if it's like something just to keep them in place a little bit, you know, that you should have it supported. But when you're moving around, you definitely should always have it supported. Like some women just walk around with no, and then things are just, you know, breaking down a little bit there. So my boobs, I call them my girls. And that is the part of my body that I'm most proud of, because they're in very good shape.
I don't have a name. I just oops.
I call mine my girls, but I'm the opposite. I don't like them.
You don't?
No, don't. Why?
I'm short, and I just feel that they're oversized. I don't like that.
You okay then?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
You okay?
You live in America and you have a problem with size?
I do.
Mm.
I don't. I love mine.
I like
I'm
mine.
so very
I
conscious
love
that.
no.
Mm-mm. I would be conscious if I had small ones, because we live in a culture where that. No, let me correct that, because I don't want people who are small chested thinking that there's something wrong with them. But
Look at them.
I could quicker see where someone who is living in this culture and have a small chest might be forced to feel, based on pressure and support comments that people make. But with having big ones, I have no problem.
Cup size matters to me. I prefer to have a 34B. I do alright with a 34B.
I love my double D.
I'm my double D's. I'm a double D and I love it. Love it. Yeah, but I don't think if they were any bigger, I would feel like I'm feeling now. But I'm okay. I embrace it. I embrace everything I have because I know that's mine. It's mine. It's what I have. Work with it.
The problem is when are they gonna stop growing? That's the
I don't
problem.
think-
You know. Well,
Mine's don't grow.
Yeah, of course they grow.
Oh, they
They
go
do.
Well, a lot of breasts
gain
I-
weight.
if you gain weight.
Bigger, but I don't think they
And
grow.
then I developed a thyroid problem,
Oh.
and I just went straight to a D.
Oh, so that's what.
Did you gain weight in the process?
Of course, your thyroid
Okay.
keeps
Yeah,
us
because a
awake.
lot of breast is
Like
fat.
that, like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
believe it or not, I go to the gym especially to try to reduce my boobs.
Well,
No.
Really?
Then I
Yeah,
don't
way.
I'm always on that,
Mhm.
that's in my mind,
I go to the gym to do the opposite.
Yeah.
To lift them.
to lift them.
Yes.
Maybe that's what you're doing. You're lifting them,
Mhm.
and that's
Yeah,
why
you
they
might
get
be
wrong.
increasing them. Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
thyroid is giving me a hard time with my
And
boobs.
then lifting them on top of the thyroid
Thyroid.
that make them much bigger. Yeah, but I'm good with mine.
No.
I love mine.
I'm naturally from a big-breasted family. My mom,
Family, yeah.
my mom. Oh gosh, my mom. I remember having to have her bras made because there was no size in the Caribbean, at least in St. Vincent, that was
To fit her,
in
yeah.
the stores that would fit her. She would have friends from overseas that would send some to her, but she couldn't get bras in St. Vincent. And a lot of that family are extremely big-chested. But I would not be honest if I didn't say that when I'm slimmer, they're not as big. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
a lot of this is a lot
Fat.
of
Fat.
it's fatty stuff. So, but I am naturally somebody with big breasts. But they would absolutely when you have the weight on, it's plump up a little bit more. But no, I love my girls, honey. I call them my best assets. What, you
Anyone
can-
else?
You have any names for the
No,
girls?
I don't, and I feel like they're too big for me. Other people look at me like you don't really have that much, but I feel like for me they're too big.
Because
Maybe
you're
it's
small
the same
person.
issue because I'm small, but I don't know.
But you don't have a name.
No,
What about Porterfield? You don't have a name for them?
I don't know.
Manfred, do you have a name?
I don't have a name, but I'm very happy. I think they're the right size for my body. They're the right size, and
I just love mine.
I find that I'm now showing them more. I don't know. You know, like I buy blouses that show them. I know there's no quantity. They're not big, but I just like them.
Yeah,
They're perfect size for you, like
Yeah.
you said. Yeah.
Embrace what
Definitely.
you have.
Yes,
And
Exactly.
work
Proud-
with it.
they don't
proud
have
of
to
them
be
girls.
big.
I think a lot of times men make more of a thing over the boobs than we do.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a guy that named them the girls.
Oh, okay.
And I like the
Did not
name,
know
so I
that.
said, my girls.
It's spread though, because a lot of people use that name too.
Yeah.
The girls.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go now to our next item in the spicy
I
dish.
have big boobs that don't drop. I have small ones and they drop. I don't get it.
Well, that's you can't help that.
That's the one thing I'd like
can't
to
help
change.
that.
I'd like to get a lift.
Yeah.
It's a part of the aging
So
process.
it's the composition of your breast. I just
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because
you have a butt. You have, the people have different butts.
Yeah, but I mean, you would think that when your boobs are huge,
Right.
they're gonna fall down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm,
When most
mine's
people see my
small,
boobs,
and
they'll be like, how are they so big? And I could go without
A bra. Yeah.
And then that droopy. Oh yeah, my boobs, my girls in very good shape. They look very nice and partly.
Okay, so that's your asset.
That's my
Yeah,
answer,
it's
honey.
a composition.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so our next spicy dish item is: are you more comfortable being massaged by a male or a female?
I like the male.
I like a male.
I like a male.
Yeah.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
He puts more effort in it, and his hands are, a little bigger and masculine on your body. Yeah, and I have had experience with the woman, and I think she's gentle, soft, But you go for a massage, you need a good hand.
But there's some women who have some really heavy hands too, and they do.
Woman,
Yeah.
I've never had
Because-
those.
Oh no, I have my massage therapist. She's chunky. She has a hand.
Strong hands.
Yeah, very powerful hands.
Because
I've
a lot of
never
people
been-
like the male massage for that reason that you're saying they're
Yeah.
stronger. But
Yeah.
there's some women I like the women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like women. As long as, like you said, they have a strong
Mm-hmm.
massage. She's strong. Mhm.
I've never had a male, but that woman. is
I'm not
something else.
comfortable with it, and don't get me wrong, except if I know that male is gay. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Oh.
I just always feel I had a bad
What do you
experience.
ask? Is he gay?
No. But if I happen to be
Oh,
that
you
he's gay,
look and
you know,
you
he's very
also- it's
feminine
not
and so
medicine.
forth, and he's not looking at me like that. I had an experience with a male masseuse that went a little bit too far,
Mm.
and from that I never trusted a male to massage me.
So that's sexual harassment.
It was back in the day. They wouldn't call it that, but that's what it was. And from that, I never let a male massage me. But I do understand the male do a stronger massage. But I also felt, and not that he tried to touch me, nothing that crazy. But he was trying to reach a little bit too far to massage areas that I don't think you should be massaging.
Yeah, I never had
And I was not comfortable in like being totally out of my clothes. And it's best if you no. I would be out of my clothes in front of a lady, but I will not be out of my clothes in front of a male.
So that means
Who's
you
not
don't
my
like a male
significant
doctor
right.
then? You don't like a male doctor?
I actually have a female gynecologist. I don't want a man looking there.
No?
No.
I think the man is interesting looking in there.
No, I don't like that. It's just I guess
So,
everybody's
because
different.
he takes. I think he takes a lot of interest.
I
don't know.
just think he might be
I've
looking.
always had a male.
Here's what I think. I think a male massaging you who is a heterosexual male or a male doctor, I think they'll like you to be looking at you in a sexual way, whether you know it or not. And I would just not like that.
Yeah, but
Mm,
I
that's
don't
in
know
your
about
mind.
that's
I
in your
doubt
mind.
that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've had
Probably.
I have had a lot of male massages
I
and
don't
male
think they
doctors
notice
too,
me.
and I don't feel uncomfortable. Like I no, because I know that they're there to do a job, and unless I see something out of place, and they haven't. And what I like about not all males, of course, but they tend to be more quiet. I think the female massage, in my case, they want to talk or they want to know how you're feeling, like every 15 minutes. The male just asks you, how do you want it? Do you want it deep? Do you want it soft? And then they do what they have to do. But that has been my experience.
I think it clouded my judgment regarding
Yeah,
that
yeah,
experience
yeah.
that I just don't like.
Yeah.
You know, I don't trust it after that. I got a female doctor, and I just don't like a male. Don't get me wrong. I'm the person. If it's someone who I'm married to or intimate with, I have no problem with him seeing me in my glory.
Yeah.
I just, to me, that like an intimate type of thing that I don't think somebody who I'm not intimate would need to see those parts. That's just me. So
You have a point.
I don't know if we heard from you.
I've only had a massage twice. I
Was it
don't
male or
like
female?
other people touching me.
Okay.
But if you had to pick
Those were
one,
females, so I wouldn't know.
mm,
As far as a GYN, even my doctors, I prefer female doctors. I don't know why, but I do.
because they have nothing that you don't have. They have the same body parts, and they're looking at you curious. You know, that's how I feel. Like they have the same body parts. Like me and my daughter, we could change our clothes in front of each other. We have the same body parts. Not necessarily my son. I'm not going to be doing that in front of my son. You know.
Well, I know we're not talking about doctors, but when it comes to doctors, to me, I've had a male doctor before. I think the females are much more understanding. It has nothing to do with their parts.
Yeah.
It has more to do with they understand what you're dealing with and what you're going through, where I think sometimes men tend to dismiss.
Okay,
What-
because
what
they go through the
happens.
same experiences, the
Yeah.
females.
There's that too. There's that too. There's definitely that too.
But maybe I'll go out there and get a third massage, pick a guy
Pick up
and
a
see
guy.
how it
Because
goes.
you have to compare.
Yes, I'm comfortable with mine. So
You have to compare. I like my massages when it's my mate or my husband or my mate that's doing it. I mean that usually was my clue to the next step. Like, oh, my neck hurts. My shoulders are so tense. All right, let me give you a massage. And then it leaves.
But you have the machines too.
No. I don't listen. I'm not. I said before, I don't put anybody down who are into toys. That's what floats your boat. That's not something I've ever been into. I've never
No, these are
felt
not
need to.
sex toys. These are just massage.
The
Like
machine.
Oh, see, my
See
mind
where your
is
mind
going.
goes all the time?
No,
Never
yeah.
fails. He never
Yeah, like a massage chair.
Yeah,
I got
I
you,
have
I
a
got you.
chair that I sit on when I'm doing my computer,
Mhm.
and it massages my back.
Mhm.
You know, I have the one that you rub on the neck. So,
Okay.
but those are replacement for
You're
the men, you know, for the hands.
Okay, I got you. My mind will have to depend on that one.
As usual.
Okay. So Malfi will do the honors and picking our next spicy dish.
Let's see what we have now. Should you accept gifts from someone who likes you that you are not attracted to?
Should you accept gifts from someone who you know likes you, but you're not attracted to them sexually? Okay, you're not attracted to them.
no.
And I'm talking like expensive
No.
gifts, not just
No.
a little card and a little something.
No.
No,
Period.
because why would you lead somebody on? By taking it, they're gonna assume, they'll want to go further and further. My thing is, don't lead a person on. You don't take his gifts, and then when he comes on to you and says, yeah, let's get it on, then you like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah.
Don't take his stuff.
Because you're misleading them.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. And I see a lot of the younger generation would accept a guy taking them out to dinner, would accept a guy bringing them gifts, expensive gifts. And I don't like him, he know I don't like him, or why the hell are you taking those gifts from me?
Yeah.
My thing is this, no man who's not your uncle, your brother, your father, maybe your first cousin, is bringing you gifts and want to take you out, and he don't want something from you. I've said this before. So you young people who are doing that and somehow justifying it like, oh, well, I don't like him, I know we're just friends. No
Don't take it.
heterosexual male want to be your little friend, bringing you gifts, taking you out, and he wants some. Trust me on that one. Okay? So I wouldn't accept it. I would not accept that. I would feel uncomfortable in leading someone on and accepting gifts from them. If you like me and I don't like you and I feel it's still possible for us to be friends, the gift thing is out of the picture. I'm not accepting gifts from you because I think it is wrong. Because when you accept it, you're sending a message that maybe you kind of like what he's doing for you, and maybe she might change her mind. And I don't want that. Sorry, I just rather not have that situation.
That's right. Next.
What about you, Amavi?
I won't accept the gifts unless it's something that we're doing for each other. If we are friends and we celebrate our birthdays and he gives me something and I give him something, but it's equal. It's not that he's giving me more that I'm giving him, because I think that true friendship do exist between a male and a female.
It's not that it never exists, It is not totally impossible. It's almost impossible that a male and female would be just good friends. He's taking you out all the time, buying you gifts, want to spend all his time around you,
But
and
not all
not
the time.
have, and he don't want something. Trust me, he wants something. Women could be friends like that. Men generally don't hang around you like that unless they like you. Or they're related to you. If they're related to you, fine. But if they're not related to you and hanging around you all the time, giving you stuff, taking you out, calling you every morning, calling you every night.
That's different.
They want
That's
something.
different.
That's
I
different.
thought that we were just talking about exchanging gifts.
Well,
from
we
time-
were,
yeah.
but we kind of branched off a little
Okay,
bit.
but I think that yes, you can share things with other people with a male. I have done it, and nothing has happened, and it has been years.
But he liked you like that?
Did he like me? No. Not the
That's
person
different.
that
I
likes me.
said-
Talking about
I said
if
somebody
he's
who liked
interested
you.
in A guy wants
Yeah.
to date you. He's interested in you, and he gives you
No,
gifts.
I will
or
not
he wants to
accept
take
it.
you out to
I will not accept
expensive
that.
restaurants.
No, because you know what's coming next.
Exactly.
And you, as a woman of value, I will say no. I will speak with him and say no. This is not what I want. I'm not interested.
I agree. I think the worst thing you can do, and it's cruel to do
It
that
is.
to someone where you're not feeling them,
Because you're leading
and
the
they're leading
person
them
on.
on. That's not fair. And I have a son, so I always think of anything that I do to someone that's not fair. It might go on his
It might
shoulder.
go on.
So I don't want to do stuff like that. Okay, so we are going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to go into our Dear Help Team segment of the show. We'll be right back.
Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, cow foot soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovaki dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 King Street in Toronto, Canada.
I'm Trish.
I'm Mountain.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
And we are the Caribbean House Talk. Welcome back to Caribbean House Talk and to our Dear Help Team segment of the show. And today we have a question for the help team here. And the question is, would you lend money to friends and family? And if so, do you have a limit?
No.
No, I wouldn't lend. I'll give you if I can give you. I gave, but I'm not lending because it's just gonna go the wrong way. It never ends well.
I totally agree with that. My policy is this: if you come to me as a relative or friend, because I'm not gonna watch my friend or my relative starve, and you say, "Listen, can you lend me some money? Well, how much do you want?" If he says upwards of $500, that's out of the question. Now, if he needs some food, he needs a place to stay. I'm not necessarily saying because I had an experience, so I don't want anybody living in my house besides my kids and my grandkid. But I would maybe arrange for you to get a room, maybe pay for it for a few months for you. Maybe give you some money to go pick up some groceries. So I would look at it like this: I will not lend money to anyone who is a friend of our relative, unless I know that if they do not give that back to me, it's not going to ruin the friendship or the relationship.
Exactly.
So I would say to myself, I think more than putting an actual number on there, here's what I'll say. This person wants X amount of dollars. Can I lend this person this money knowing that I may not get it back and it's not
That's
going
the
to
point.
roll?
Not that you wouldn't do it. It's,
Right.
That's really the issue. Anytime I lend out money, especially to people like family, it's hard because some of them may be very irresponsible. If they need it, they need it. But when I let it go, I always take it that I'll never get it back. So that when I do, I'm happy about it, and when I don't, I'm not too disappointed. That's the way I always look at things. I give it, I'm gonna give you something that I'm not gonna need, okay? And I'm glad you clarified what you said, because if I came to you and said, Trish, I need $2,000, I know you would give it to me, okay?
But you know something too. I've known you for a long time too. And I know you're the type of person where if I did lend you that money, I may not get it back tomorrow or next week or next month, but I know I'll get it back. So it's not that you won't give, but don't give and let it ruin that relationship. Because I've loaned money to a lot of people.
Yeah, but
Okay?
then you know
Right.
who to loan and who not to,
Right.
because there are people that are just irresponsible. They'll never give you
You'll never
anything
give,
back.
and not
And
only
they'll
that,
keep
we'll cost you
asking.
out. We'll cost you out if you
Yeah.
ask them for it. So my thing is, I definitely would lend money to them, but I would lend it with the understanding I may not get it back, and if I don't, it is not going to ruin that friendship. That's my take on that.
And don't
And
give
don't
something
give-
that's gonna hurt you. If it's something, if I have 500, you ask me for 500, or whoever asked me for 500, and I need it now, I'm not gonna give it if it's gonna hurt my pocket. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's doing it. It's lending based on the conditions and with certain stipulation and expectations in mind. You know what I mean? That-
Except if you ask me for anything, I would find a way to get it and give
That's
it to
nice.
you.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, there are people. Let me tell you something. This person right here, if she was in a situation where she needed me, I needed money, they're members of my family. If there's some members of my family that if they needed that money, and this lady over here needed that money, I don't give a shit who get mad. She's getting it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
We're like family. So.
You know, she's getting it. And they might be mad and say, well, I'm not that I would tell them my business, but, well, you loaned her some money. No, she's been more family to me than some of my family, honestly.
Yeah.
She got my damn nerves sometimes, but I love you and your boo boo.
Okay, guys.
But yeah, I mean, from my wedding, I remember members of my family never showing up for my wedding. This lady was there planning and helping me through the whole thing, and nobody put up with my crazy crap like her. You know, she know I'm crazy. She just let me be crazy.
So true.
Okay, sir.
Anyway, back to the subject.
Back to the subject.
There we go.
So would you lend a friend of money or a relative, and if so, is there a limit or some stipulation or condition?
Not again. There was
Okay.
a time.
You won't lend anybody money?
My children maybe.
Okay.
My children. Not again. Not friends.
But even with your children, is there a limit to what you will lend them?
Of course. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I did have a friend who I thought was a real friend, and she took me to the. She took me really bad. I mean, she asked me to co-sign, which is just like lending money.
Oh, that's even
my
worse.
gosh,
And
no.
this is someone I grew up with. She couldn't do anything wrong. Man, she took me to the cleaners. She left the country and never looked back.
Ooh.
And I had to
Oh.
pay that back. I had my salary garnished, you know, all that, just to go through for a friend. So I said, you know what, let's be friends, and I won't ask you, you don't ask me.
Wait a minute, you still friends? You could be friends
No,
with
I
that
don't,
person?
I wish I wouldn't see her again.
Oh,
I
okay.
I couldn't be friends anymore.
she
But you mean
became
in
a
general?
dentist.
In general, you could be friends with people, but you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to go through that, and I try not to borrow.
Yeah, I
You know,
understand
I
that.
mean, I try not to just live within my means, you know. So if I borrow, probably I go to the banker.
Yeah,
The banker.
I don't like to borrow anything.
From
If
people,
I
yeah.
do, I'm desperate. I must really need it for me to ask anybody.
But let me say this. This is what curbed me. First of all, a couple of things curbed me. One is watching shows like Judge Judy. That you see people come on there.
Yeah.
They will dung out somebody, loan them some money, help get them out of a jam, bail them out of jail, and they will stick you with that. You know? And I see that so many times, I'm like, wow, this is a mentality. Some people just think everybody who's kind is an idiot and you could just take advantage of them. But also, I used to be the kind of person who would always lend people money. I've loaned people money. They're buying a house, they need the closing fees, I lend them the money. They're going through some kind of thing, lend them the money. And I remember, you probably know who I'm talking about. There was a person I was working with, and I would always lend this person money. And that person up and died.
Yeah.
But here's how she used to. She used to give it back. Never said that about her. She didn't. She used to give it back, and then she'll borrow again, and she'll borrow more the next time. Well, she had just give it back to me, and then I was out sick at the time from work and got word that she died. I said, Jesus God, she could have died, and I didn't get my money back.
Yeah.
I don't even know who she's related to. Nothing to you know.
Yeah.
So that those kind of things make me kind of look at that and say, I will lend a friend or relative money if I have it, with certain conditions and with the expectation you may never see a dollar of this back.
You know, as you know, I'm a realtor, and I have a client. Well, I had a client, and she's a young woman, and she's doesn't have any money, but she's trying to get the American dream, you know. So
She shouldn't, but
So I'm there, and she ran into a little difficulty because she's supposed to show some money and all that. And I thought about it, and believe me, my heart was like cut in two. This part says, well, you got to help her. But the other part said, what if? So most things I pray about, you know, and I had to get back to her. I said, look, I can't help you.
No, don't.
And I know I lied, you know, at the time I could have helped her, but I just wouldn't take it on.
I call them excuses. I don't lie. I just make
And
excuses.
you know, she really wanted help. But then I said, what if? What happens when she closes
and she's not gonna be
and,
able
and
to afford it.
she doesn't have any money to give them back? I am going to be, you know, so you got to be very careful, you know, how you
And the
do.
person I loaned something to for their closing to help them to get a house, it ruined the friendship.
Yeah, that too. You
Because
know.
they were taking vacations, and I'm not getting my money back. And when I
And they
asked,
don't mention either
Yeah,
that
no,
they have
they
to
don't
give
make-
you. That's
Right.
the terrible
and
thing
when
about people when they
nothing,
borrow.
nothing.
They won't even mention it.
I had a relative who there was something wrong with their car, and they needed their car to get around, and they needed, $500 to get the car up and running. I loaned the money. I never seen a dime back, but I knew that ahead of time. That's most likely, child, you will not see a dime of this back.
And you know what
So I let that go. But if I couldn't afford to do without that money, she was not going to get it.
You know what happened? I think it becomes a vicious cycle with a good friend.
Yes.
Because they always have you in your mind. Oh, Amalfi will lend me that money if I need it.
Yes.
And it's hard to stop that. Because that person always have you in their mind because you have done it before.
Okay. All right. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Lady H will have the benefits of garlic. One of the wonder foods out there that people are using in the health food industry. So we're going to be right back with that bit of info.
Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stewed fish, oxtail, curry goat, stewed turkey, pea soup, Calford soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovakia dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 King Street in Toronto, Canada.
I'm Trish.
I'm Amalfi.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
And we are the Caribbean House Talk. I'm Trish.
I'm Amalfi.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
And we are the Caribbean House Talk. All right, welcome back to Caribbean House Talk. And we are about to go into a health tip segment of the show. And one of the foods we're going to be discussing, or the food that we're going to be discussing, is garlic. Is that an herb seasoning?
Herb.
Okay. Herb seasoning.
It's an herb.
Garlic. It is touted as one of the wonder foods out there that has a lot of health food benefits. And so our dear Lady H, being our resident researcher, she a research scientist, she has done the research and is going to give us the goods on garlic. What say you, Lady H?
All right. I'll give you a little history of garlic first. Garlic has long been celebrated in the fantasy realm for warding off evil,
Ooh,
specifically bloodthirsty vampires.
good, yeah.
However, in reality, garlic does possess several superpowers when it comes to our health. Garlic contains allicin, an organic sulfur compound, which strengthens immunity, improves heart health, lessens inflammation, and even acts as an antibacterial agent to banish bacterial illnesses and food poisoning. Remember, eating garlic in the raw will warrant the highest benefits. So plug that nose and applaud garlic for these 7 unexpected health benefits.
Wow.
Don't you ever eat garlic in the raw?
No, I can't think
No.
of it.
I eat
I
eat
use
it
a lot
clove
of garlic,
now
but
and
I
then.
use it on my meat. Everything I season, fish, meat, has to have
I
garlic.
squeeze my nose and I eat it.
Okay.
Yeah, I squeeze.
Mm-mm.
That's
Yeah.
important.
Then it protects the heart. Many studies draw a link between diets high in garlic and improved cardiovascular health, including lower cholesterol levels, regular blood pressure, and improved artery function. It protects the bones. Studies have shown that female diets high in allicin-rich vegetables like garlic reduce the risk of osteoarthritis. It has anti-inflammatory properties Garlic is noted as a potent treatment for sore muscles and inflamed joints when the oil is massaged into the affected area. It banishes antifungal itch. A raw garlic soak can banish all sorts of antifungal infections, from athlete's foot to candida. Okay. It lowers lung cancer risk. Studies have linked raw garlic to a reduced risk of lung cancer. That means I won't have lung cancer.
No. You can eat a lot of garlic and still have that. Yeah.
It protects the brain. Studies suggest that baking fish with a few cloves of garlic might help destroy brain cancer cells and protect the brain from malignant brain tumors. Yeah. And lastly, it strengthens immunity. Studies show that garlic taken as a precautionary method to ward off illness showed promise when it came to decreasing the frequency of colds in adults, which is good too, because garlic, when you beat it with honey, you make, and you drink that for your cold, the next day you have no cold.
I can't even imagine those two together.
Raw honey.
Raw honey.
And when we talk about honey, you have to use the raw honey, the one that's not, with the one
Organic.
Yeah.
Organic honey.
And you mix that, you beat up the garlic and you let it sit for a while and you drink it. It's not a very pleasant taste, but it's potent. Yeah, that's what I used to give my children for colds.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There was a gentleman who was interviewed. He's 110 years old. I don't remember which part of the world he's living in. And he said his grandfather lived very old as well, and father. And one of the reasons is they ate cinnamon, honey, garlic, and there was
Turmeric?
one other thing. No, there was another thing. There were 4 things those were 3 of the things, and I can't remember the other one. If it comes to me later, I'll tell
Not
you.
clove.
It might have been close.
Sometimes it's clove.
But there were 4 components, and he said he that's how he's eating. And this guy was a large, sharp, young, agile, 110. I mean, sometimes you see people 110, but they don't look like that.
Right.
You know. So with me with garlic, I don't have that kind of stomach to eat raw garlic. But I put it a lot
I've
in my
tried
meat.
it a few times.
But I know it's very good even for high blood pressure.
Yeah, I've tried it.
Yeah, and again, we are not telling you out here that these are things you should use in place of your medicine, or that you should mix your medicine, not take your medicine and take these things and think they're going to be curing you. What we're saying is, if you're somebody who you're in good health, you want to start these kind of regimens to kind of keep yourself healthy. So maybe you won't end up on some of those medications. That's fine. But if you're on those medications, you don't want to go for going medication and trying holistic stuff, because first of all, you could interact with it in a dangerous way. Secondly, you might have your situation maybe where these things are not going to do it for you, because your condition is severe. So we're not, I just want to make sure we put that out there. We're not a medical team. We put the holistic things out there, things that, like I said, people who are healthy, in good shape, would be able to use, and it could enhance their health, because they're not down that path with certain illnesses. My mother, for instance, is diabetic, high blood pressure, a whole host of other stuff. They've gotten her on probably 20 medication. You don't mess with that and go try to have her use this stuff. She stays with me. She sticks with her regimen. I don't like that they have on all those medication, but it's too late to go try to get her off of that. But me, who's still at the age where I'm still reasonably young, I'm still healthy by the grace of God. I want to use these things so that I maybe don't end up like her. Like I said, I'm on 1 water pill, which that's it.
But
I'm not on any other medication. But if I did need medication, I'm not going to be stupid. I'm going to take my medication and stay alive, rather than having a stroke or something.
We must say that these are natural products.
Right, and these that we're talking about are natural products. We're not telling you go to some kind of alternative drug and this and that. These are natural things that people use in their foods, in their drinks. Natural. Yeah. Whew. Well, we're going to have a lot of these little tidbits. I think one of the things I want us to look into is soursop leaves, because every night I have a cup of soursop tea, soursop leaves, with everything I put, cinnamon in it. So I always have a stick of cinnamon in there. So every night it's the moringa during the morning and during the day, and my noni juice. And at night I get I brought up some dried soursop leaves. I crush a few up in my hand, stick it in my mug, stick some cinnamon, pour some hot water, and I sip it as I'm watching my little TV until I go off to La La Land. It helps you to calm you. It helps to calm you. It helps you to help with it's reported to help with high blood pressure and different things like that. So we're gonna do something like guava leaf is another one. I'm hearing a lot of good things. Yeah.
And they say mango leaves now.
I'm hearing mango leaves as
Yeah,
well.
they're saying mango leaves.
You know what? I had an experience when I was in the Caribbean. I got up every morning, and in my property there's a lot of papaya.
Yeah.
A really delicious papaya. So I go over and I get some guavas, and somebody brought me some mango, and I keep them. And I don't eat breakfast when I'm there. I just eat fresh fruits in the morning.
Yeah.
But I did not know that papaya is such a powerful cleanser that you have to be careful you eat it on an empty stomach. So I got up in the morning, had my papaya, had almost a whole papaya. It was a small one, but I had it. And decided I'm going to go lie down because I'm on vacation, I'm resting. And I just started having the most severe cramps. And what someone was telling me, it's a wonderful fruit, but you should not have eaten it and remain with an empty stomach because it's going to your body and trying to clean and there's nothing there because you haven't eaten. So you should have taken it, but you should have eaten. So I learned a lesson. As good as some of these things are for you, you have to know certain things. You can't just, So I thought, I was like, oh my God, am I going to come down here to get sick? And the medical industry there is so terrible. So
And
it's
you
kind
can
of
cook
panicky.
it too. You can put it in your stew.
Yeah, the green one, right?
The green one.
Anyone.
The green one.
The ripe one, you use
tenderizes
it
your
as ketchup. If you want to put a little color and thickening, you use the ripe one. The green one is if your meat is tough.
Yeah,
put the meat-
tenderizer.
Well, I've heard that. It's a tenderizer.
Yeah.
And that tells you right there's something powerful, that it will soften up something like meat.
Yeah.
You know? Because that one I know.
Wow.
So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about and bring you little tidbits and little health tips and so forth. And Lady H has always been that person who is great. When she does her research, she is thorough.
Oh, thank
I have to tell you that. You are so thorough. And this is her niche here. She really brought some. You bring your class to this stuff.
Oh, thank
and
you.
and professionalism
You
to this
agree?
stuff. She truly brings.
Everybody
This is really a good component of it because there are a lot of people out there who you just don't know. We have a lot of natural stuff that's good for us, but we don't know.
Yeah.
All we know about is to go to the doctor and get a drug. What about before you get there?
Yeah.
Right? What about before you get there? Maybe if you try some of these things, you don't get there.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Because I watched both my parents get drugged up
I
with
think
a bunch of
everything in
drugs.
moderation too.
Mhm.
You take these things in moderation.
Mhm.
You don't have to go out and buy a whole lot of garlic, but you use it each day on your food, and then you'll be all right. So.
Another one is Saraciti.
Oh,
but we're gonna-
Cersei. Yeah. We call it Cersei.
Yeah, we call it Corelli. So we're
Corelli.
talking about stuff like that. You people from the Caribbean, you know what we're talking about. Corelli.
Every summer.
Yeah, there's one they call John's Cutlass.
Oh,
I don't know what the real name is,
John
but
Cutlass.
Cutlass, right? These are a lot of. It'd be nice if I get a few of them just to show people what we're talking about. Seriously, they have the tea here from Jamaica.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's the-
No, that's a Harrod.
But-
Harrod tea. Oh,
it's bitter.
Cersei?
But let me tell you.
Oh, no.
oh yeah.
I love it.
Your blood, it thins your blood, so you can't drink it
You can't
more
drink too
than
much
one
of
or
it,
two
yeah.
times a week.
Yeah.
But it's
Mhm.
and then they have a fruit from it.
The pods, yeah. You
You
cook
know
with
that
that too.
fruit.
You
I
cook
put
with
it in
that?
my stew.
Yeah, and people with diabetes, it's very helpful with diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
People cook. I cook it too.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know that thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
The little reddish.
No,
it's not
that
red,
is
it's
green.
The one that's here
Yeah, they
have one.
plant it in their backyard.
every year.
You
Does
know,
it Corelli have a
this is
pretty
like
little-
a grit.
That's the one we know.
the one that we know doesn't have some
A
little
little
tight
red,
red
yeah.
pods?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the one we're talking about. The one we're talking about is a green long thing. Look like a little, like a okra, a big okra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. And you cut it
So
up.
they're
pick up little seeds in it,
they're
too.
Saracea.
It's different.
It's different than what we
Yeah.
Saracea, what we call Corelli. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're gonna take a break, And when we come back, we're going to talk about some little interesting things in the news. And this one, I think, is something that's happened in the Caribbean, since a lot of our viewers are watching from the Caribbean as well as the Caribbean diaspora. We'll be right back.
Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and the ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, cowfoot soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovaki dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 King Street in Toronto, Canada.
I'm Trish.
I'm Mousy.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
And we are the Caribbean House Talk. Welcome back to Caribbean House Talk, and to a final segment. We're going to be doing some news items, or at least a news item coming out of the Caribbean. In Barbados, about a week and a half ago, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalve, was speaking at an event at the University of the West Indies in Barbados, when a university professor stood up with a number of her colleagues and with placards and protested his speaking. Now, he was not there to speak on women's issue, but there has been allegations against him regarding sexual assault and you know, sexually targeting women and things of that nature. So this professor stood up and with her placards and you know, stated her stance against abuse of women, and you know, the Prime Minister made it known that he wasn't there to speak about that, and he would really like to speak to her at the appropriate time. And she said no. Basically, she wasn't interested in speaking to him. She wasn't concerned about what he was there to speak with. I guess she felt that the university should not have invited someone with that reputation to lecture in anything. And so she put the placards up, and then eventually they were escorted out, but not before these feisty ladies had their say. And this is how the world has changed. Now, everybody thought she's going to be fired, she's going to be destroyed, you know, academically or career-wise. But she got a lot of support from her fellow, from her colleagues, and has gotten such respect from people in the Caribbean community for taking that stance. And I think what people admire her for taking that stance is that she's not even a Vincentian, but she knew of the stories there, because I don't know you guys, since we went to hiatus, there was a story there where the Prime Minister's son, Camilo Gonsalve, who is also the Minister of Finance, so it's like a whole family affair there. The father's Prime Minister, Camilo Gonsalve, is the Minister of Finance, and his wife, the son's wife, is the Minister of the Financial Regulations, Regulatory Agency in St. Vincent. So he is alleged to have had an affair with this young girl, and the girl became a bit angry and seemed a little, I don't want to say unhinged, but she seemed like she was having some emotional problems. And it is alleged that she said to his wife when she met him one day, "You dirty bitch," or something to that effect. And she was brought into court. She was put in a mental institution for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And when she was brought back to the court, she was sent back for yet a third week. They were giving her drugs. She came into court like screaming, almost like guttural type of songs. And many people felt that they put her there so that they could destroy her mind, and then nothing she says would make sense. So the people from St. Vincent and the Grenadines have been protesting here in the United States, in Canada, and England. And this professor, no doubt, knew about what was going on there, and this was her way to say, you're not going to treat women in this way, and then come here and be legitimized by standing up in front of university students, as if you truly stand for something, respectful. And so that was interesting. There were interestingly students from St. Vincent in the audience who were annoyed at her that she did that, and others out here saying, she's not from St. Vincent. She had the guts to say, I don't like what you stand for. And you're not going to come here and sit here and we legitimize your foolishness. But, you know, it was kind of interesting to see the dynamics, but also to see how much things have changed by way of what people are allowed to accept, or how now women can stand up and have a voice and not be penalized